Do, 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 do. Oops. It's not the right browser. Oops. There we go. I just couldn't remember what what port I had it on. Let's check this out. Need episode. And this is gonna go to a error page, which is expected because that's what we're working on here. Okay, so I was playing around with this. It's been a long, like so long since I've used what they call dead views. Dead dead views? Mm-hmm. Okay. So here's our page. We're gonna come into here, go into the, and we're gonna start building this out here. Because we're gonna need this. And then where's control rudder? I don't think that we're going to be using params after this. So repo.get. I'm sorry, series dot get show. I should really update this. This isn't series ID. This is show ID. Get show. I remember correctly. I wish I could like multi-search files. I'm sure that there's a way. I just don't know what it is. Because this is VS Code, which isn't something that I use super often. And this was wrong. This here is it. Get show preload episodes languages. Brett, welcome back. How's it going? Not too bad. I'm just I'm doing doing some web dev. Oh God, man, I am on that struggle bus with the talking today. How are how, how are how are things on your end?
Let me talk to you. Here.
Dang these brains. I know, right? Yeah. So, snap into a sleep. You think that might work? Good. Um, so what was I gonna say? Mm, um, yeah, that was this random night alert. I'm good so far. Prepping dinner. We're over here. Oh, nice. What time? What what time is it over there? Is it like getting late? It's only like 11 here. Oh wow. But uh anyway, so um uh there's a so I can't I'm a pretty slow reader. The future. Yeah. I'm broadcasting into the future. So um sorry. So uh I I watch yeah, very slow reader. So like watching uh subtitled TV shows and movies is like incredibly difficult. I have to like pause and rewind and stuff like that because I can't read it fast enough. So there's a bit of a disconnect there. Um, once I start getting reading, I can usually read a little faster. But like the starting takes a little bit of extra time and it messes with subtitles a lot. So since I like watching anime, I watch dubbed anime and it solves the problem. But like Crunchyroll, like it's as you're aware with as you're probably aware with a lot of services these days, it's like you have to go to like 3 or 4 different services to figure out what the fuck's going on, or like to watch a decent amount of series. So it's like I kind of just want like a calendar that shows me when everything's coming out, so I know like what times and days they're coming out. And so there's a calendar that was being maintained by the uh, Reddit dubbed anime people, but it's all done manually, and it has to be maintained by somebody who's like um, volunteering time. And it's like, well, that's super inefficient. Audible time. I actually had Audible for a long time and it was great, but I wasn't really going out much anymore, so I wasn't listening to it. Uh, so I canceled my subscription. But yeah. So love Audible though. But yeah, so like I wanted something like this where it has all the animes or all the shows, not even necessarily animes, all the shows that I want to watch, and it has the times and stuff like that, and it repopulates. And then there's like if it's a holiday in the states, they'll sometimes just not air anime that day, and we can foresee it coming. So instead of the person who manages this having to come in here and move things around just for those days, what if I just have a calendar that pulls from a database that I control? And then maybe maybe we can make a system so people can add new series. And then maybe on those series we can have the ability to add an episode or flag an episode and stuff like that. My friends be very curious. Nice. Well, it doesn't necessarily have to be anime. It could also be any show, right? There's there's no there's nothing that says that it needs to be an anime specifically, right? Got a bunch for this. So I set this up. This actually pulls from a database. Um, but yeah, so like I set these three are kind of the most common for what we're looking for regarding um anime. So I just push these to the top um because these are going to be the the most used, I think, for at least the start. So then if we take a look over here, this is our database, right? Oops. If we look at this data, this is the database so far at the moment. So like if I reconnect to this and do this, we can look at this. We can look at say an individual episode, right? So this is an episode. So we've got a show, right? A show will have an original language, season count, title, original title, an image, um, uh, 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 and some other details. And then for episode, right, it'll be it will tell you what season the episode is. I forgot to put the episode number. Oops. I'll have to fix that. And then here, this is important, right? This has the release date for a specific language, a flag for if it is delayed, and because it's a timestamp, and because it attaches to because it will have a language attached to it, then we can a language ID here. We can this will tell us what language it's in. So yes, German will work, but also Hindi, Tagalog or whatever. There's a bunch of them that that Crunchyroll is starting to support. So I figured this will solve for everybody. And then if we have a settings, right? A user settings, we could dump into this user settings things like a preferred preferred language, and then you know then once I build this out a little bit more, the idea would be to have it so it's like the calendar is specific to you, right? Instead, and it's not like a general calendar; it's a calendar specific to you. Yeah, so the idea would be that the calendar is specific to what you're looking for, right? So like mine would be English dubs, right? And it would just be a calendar of just English dubs. For you, it could be a calendar, or for your friend, it would be a calendar of just the German dubs, right? I hate to break it to you, that would never happen. Canada is too small. We are can it's this is going to sound absolutely horrible, but Canada is an insignificant country on the world stage, unfortunately. Especially in business. Canada is insignificant in business. Because like uh we're such a tiny country, right? Like population of California. We've only recently started beating California in population. The entirety of Canada versus one state. So it's like if a Canadian company captures 50% of the Canadian population, that's a lot of people. It's still a lot of people. Don't get that wrong. It's a ton of people. But it's also like half of California. Yeah. So like yeah. And we're one of the largest like landmass countries in the world. Yeah. To be fair though, like if we look at a map of Canada, right? Oops. That's not what I wanted. I wanted this. So like if we look at like a map of Canada, most Canadians live here. Like this is where Canadians live. By population density. Yeah, here. There you go. Like the population, Canada has so much unused land, which is also not a bad thing though, right? Like it's not a bad thing. We have a lot of natural resources that have been untapped and unused, and we have a lot of um um uh a lot of trees and stuff like that, so it's good. Okay, it's pizza time. I'm still listening though. Ooh, pizza sounds delicious. I'm having Japanese curry later today. Although I did find something, and this is super cool. One sec. I found this and I love it. Okay, so I found this. This it's I believe this should be called Fagan, and it's a northern it's a northern version of a Vietnamese beef stew, uh, effectively ramen, like instant ramen, but it's Vietnamese beef stew flavored. And um, well, I love, absolutely love. This is one of my favorite dishes. The southern version of it is one of my favorite dishes in the world. This I absolutely love this so much. Um, the Vietnamese beef stew. If you ever get a chance, 10 out of 10, definitely try. Especially if it's southern. Although, just because I don't know what the northern tastes like, but I still want to try this. And I was like, I have to buy this. I can't not buy this. And it was on sale. It was $2 off for a pack. And I was like, all right, well, I'm buying it. So happy. My girlfriend makes this for me incredibly rarely because of how time consuming it is to make. But I absolutely love that shit. So I was so happy. No. What was I up to here before I ran away? Right, it was get show, and then this needs to render my con with some params. We're gonna need a show. I got your stream running on my phone, so watching while eating is tough. But I got an awesome Vietnamese joint nearby. They are pretty good. Well, if you see the beef stew, it's usually kind of a bit of a reddish color. But oh my god, that shit, mm, just amazing. Definitely give it a shot. Mm. I should really. No, I'm just gonna leave it at series. Okay. So here we're doing the episode controller to do. So we need to double check to make sure I'm doing this right. This looks correct. Okay. Good, 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 good. Episode controller here. And here we're going to say this is going to be for new. Windows fresh install is a good idea. I agree. Do you use Linux distro? Do you use any Linux distros? A ton. I was thinking about either going for something generalist like Mint, or I'm also curious about SteamOS. Um, I usually end up on Manjaro. Actually, I have a Manjaro stick right here. um, right. The the my reasoning for being on it though, like right now, isn't anything past that it installs easily on this specific system. Because I was like, for some reason, like Ubuntu and some of the other ones just wouldn't want to install properly. And I'm very much so. I'm not a huge customizer personally. Like even when I did not actually own a Windows PC, like all of my PCs were either Mac or Linux. I still didn't really customize my Linux PCs. I don't do a whole lot of customization like that. Not just not that interested. I just want my system to boot up and get out of the way so I can do stuff on it. Um, is the Steam OS actually like from Steam, or is it the oh, it is, yeah. Hmm. Well, if you want to play games on it, this would be a great choice. Isn't this an Arch Linux too? Because there was like they weren't updating Steam OS for a long time, but I guess because they've released the Proton and stuff like that, they've started updating it again. But yeah, it is an Arch Linux. Yeah, no, it definitely is entirely made specifically. Like the initial release was definitely made um um for for um the Steam Deck, but they've got it on other systems now, right? Well, I do does Steam actually, like, it does look like they actually release a distro, right? Because it says the last release was like a day ago, so they actually are doing releases, which is good. Because like for a long time, it just like sat, because they did it the first time they were doing Steam PCs. They released a Steam Linux distro, and it was not good and not maintained. But they put a lot more into it with the Steam Deck, and it looks like they're actually maintaining it properly now. Personally, I don't know if I would go with like SteamOS for me. but that's also because like I just my understanding is that like getting Steam running on a system now is actually pretty easy, like a Linux system. It's been streamlined a lot, so uh, yeah, yeah. But they're actually doing releases now, which is good. Okay, so this new series. Go to the series page. Had an episode. So we're gonna make a form. Am I boring? Makes making side wants mint. I'm gonna be honest. If you want like just go mint. Like there's nothing wrong with mint. The only thing that I've been worried about is that the push for Rust. The push for Rust in the Linux utils is bothering me. Like the Rust utils. Right? Where they've actually some of these have made it into big distros. Like I think Ubuntu has a couple of them in, and they're not one-to-one feature compatible. Some of them run slower. Oh, that's fine. But yeah, like some of these have actually made it into uh some of the distros, and it's just like these are not compatible. Like they're not 100%. Not all the tests are passing. Some of them are degrading performance. Some of them are returning bad data and stuff like that, or crashing and stuff like that. I don't like that. This isn't acceptable, right? Like, there's no reason to rewrite these. They're not working, right? So, but that's why that's another reason why I was like thinking Arch maybe instead of like a Ubuntu or Debian or that I would normally go with or something like that, just because like I want to not make that march to Rust right now. I installed Mint on my mom's laptop and its performance basically skyrocketed. But that's compared to Windows. Yeah. Um I got I've got a friend who's a chef and he only buys Linux systems now. I got him switched over from Windows to Linux, and he doesn't really get time to play a lot of video games anyways. Um, so he just uses he just he's on an old System 76 laptop. And he's a Linux user, and he doesn't have problems anymore. He loves it. I don't think he's ever going back. I had my grandma on Linux at one point. My mom was running Linux. I don't think I could get my dad to run Linux, but that's fine. He just runs an iPad anyways. My stepmom tried to run Mac, and that lasted like no time at all. Um, and she had to return it. Yeah. Okay. Whoops. Right. It was this series new. Then if we go to here, we need a new new file. New.html.h. Fine unless you play mostly multiplayer with anti-cheat, but that's also getting better. I was wondering about that. Yeah, because easy anti-cheat is the most popular. It can work on Linux, but a lot of people compile it so it doesn't. What's the error here? Oh, I'm probably missing something here. It's probably like this. No, it's there. There's my new call. Oh, that's why. Did I not save? No, I did. Okay. Wait, what? Show controller. Oh, that's why. Look at that. It's beautiful. No new HTML template defined. What do you mean no new HTML template defined? It's right here. There. Oh, this is why. There we go. Now, why is this not showing up? Oh, this is episode, and I want new. Yeah, okay, this makes sense now. So we're going to take this. Here, and we're going to add it dot episode form, I think I called it. Yeah, episode form. Now I think I'm going to get an error. Perfect. Got an error. Now this is going to be the change set equals it's work like this that makes me want to go back to it makes me really want and miss Linux, because this type of work is just so much better under Linux. Now if I go to my series controller here, I can see this. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so I did make sure that I was doing that correctly. Yeah. And then we also do this. And then we need languages. There we go. And then I also want the create. And we're going to take this and bring that over into here for the language. And this would this is not going to be original language. This is going to be language. This form's going to be multi-parted, kind of. So the idea would be that you're adding an episode. Maybe you can add 3 different episodes at once or something like that. Or maybe to start, I'll have to just do it one at a time. I don't know. I'll figure it out. Because I'm not using live views. I'm using what they call dead views. I think that was a bit dramatic to call them dead views. Yeah, they're not as widely used anymore, but like they're still really useful, because like a live view requires a WebSocket connection in order to function. And yeah, they get really snappy and stuff like that because you don't have to reload and everything. But like at the end of the day, it's like when you're hosting your service, and since you're a sysadmin, you know this. When you're hosting a service, if you have to host a service that utilizes WebSockets, that's a persistent connection. Persistent connections are expensive. And then I guess the other way that if you're not using live views that people like to go is React. And I just I just don't want to build an API and structure a React app to deploy a React app to do all of that stuff. I'm just like, oh, I just don't care. It's a lot of JavaScript for not a whole lot of gain. Then you've got to ship React. Although I think I'd go with Preact. So much smaller, right? Hmm. When I think about React, it makes me feel like if you're doing if React is like a framework. I don't know if it's classified as a framework though. Is React a framework? But yeah, known for structure development control. Hmm. It's because it kind of has all of that stuff. I just don't want to. I just don't really want to deal with it. It's just too much overhead. Right. Okay. This create this so this here create ooh. This here creates a situation where now Preact becomes kind of enticing though. Because if I'm using React, this is really easy to like add. And without that, it's not super easy to to add to. So if I do like using Phoenix dead views, and I want to add an extra field to my form, what would that generally look like? I did not word that well. I would like to have the user add multiple of a single input. Work as if the want to put a button on the front end that just adds an extra input. The script listens for button clicks and appends a new input to your container. By keeping the name identical for every new field, Phoenix will automatically group them into a single list of strings when the form is submitted. Perfect. This is what I'm looking for here. And then we just add an on. Then the button is just like an on click. That makes sense. Yeah, that's easy enough. We'll just do that. Oh wait, I forgot that I needed the for this. I want change set dot data. I think. Pizza devoured. I forgot how tired they make me, and I have no idea what you're talking about. Still haven't really gotten to learn new shit after finishing my course. Oh, it's not too bad. We'll get there. Oh, right, because this needs to this takes in change set. And then show equals at show. Actually, does it need show? I don't think we're using it, are we? Oh no, we are. Okay. And we need episode. Okay. Yeah. Besides finding a job, I think keeping up with learning is important. I kind of do prefer to have a bit of direction though. So in school, did they not um uh uh um cover like WebSockets and stuff like that? This is set to 2. Why does it keep setting it to 4? Oh, I'm going to take this away. I'm not using that. We've uninstalled it. Oh, wait. Okay, here we go. And we want it was basically a boot camp like courses for admins, so no developer skills and no programming. Oof, that's no good. So this is important, right? So you've got your database, right? I don't know why I'm starting there. It's not what I meant. So you've got like your server, right? And this could be like your Nginx server, right? And then you've got your users, right, in this really shitty cloud that I just drew, right? Your customers. So with a WebSocket connection, when you connect to the server, this is a TCP connection that effectively just stays open the entire time you're there, right? So because it's bidirectional. So the server can send information to the client without the client having to request information from the server. The old way of doing it with just HTTP, you know, you get your like your get puts delete. Don't hold me if I spell things wrong here. Post, right? All of these the client sends, and the only way that the server can send information back is if the client requests it first. So the client makes a request, and then the server can respond, right? So if you want updates on the front end, the client has to make a request. Where in a WebSocket, right, new information comes into the server, we can just fire it over this socket, and the client will get it. But disabled ID for so long, or no longer than you. Yeah, well, no worries. Um, thanks, thanks for the understanding, though. I appreciate it. But yeah, so like WebSockets are great, but a server can only handle X number of concurrent connections, right? So let's say that your server can only handle 1,000 concurrent connections, right? Because you're not spending a ton of money, right? So your server can only handle 1,000 connections at a time. Anything above 1,000 connections starts taking down the server, right? Well, now what happens when I have 1,000 people idling on the site not doing anything? Just eating up one of these connections, right? So for every person that does this, right, for the entire time they're using the site, I have -1. Or how does it work? So yeah, it's bidirectional, right? The socket, the TCP socket just stays open, right? So it works like just a regular old TCP socket effectively, and you can just send information both ways. WebSockets are great. WebSockets are what power the chat that we're using right now. Yeah. So this is changed now, but it used to be Twitch used to do IRC over WebSocket. So it was the IRC protocol over a WebSocket connection. And it works really well. I still think that it's fantastic because like development around it makes it really easy to develop for, and that's why there's so many different bots and stuff like that people would put out, because developing around IRC was so easy, right? And it was just a WebSocket connection. You just connect and you're done. Super great that way. They made it more complicated with time and stuff like that. And now it's using a different system, and they heavily discourage, or they've completely turned off the IRC side of it. But yeah. So it's like you can have something on the server, right? So like if this, so there's your Nginx server, right? Your Nginx server has to hold the connection open and do all the relays. And then you've got your regular server here, right? And this here could hold data specific to this specific like what's going on in this session, right? So this will be a WebSocket session, right? I'm definitely not spelling this right, and I just don't care. Anyways, but this will be a WebSocket session, right? And you can attach with your WebSocket server, right? You can attach information to it, right? And then you can send information from other sessions to that session. If you want to, you can be like, I'm sending this to this session, and then this session will be like, oh, hey, I've got a connection, and sends it out over the wire. So this user gets that update, right? But again, if you can only handle 1,000 requests, like 1,000 connections at any given one time, and you have 1,000 people on your server, you can no longer accept requests, right? Your server is down. You need to expand out. Now, that same 1,000, right? If we use the older request response pattern, which is your gets, your puts, your deletes, your posts, all of those wonderful things, right? Then this here connection might only stay open for, like two nanoseconds or something. It's tiny like that, right? Like these open and close really quickly, right? So you're not wasting these concurrent connections. I'm going to rewatch this when I'm not in a food coma on my big screen, and it's gonna make all the sense in the world. Hopefully. Right? Is it kind of making sense though? No, there is a downside to using old request response patterns rather than using a WebSocket pattern. WebSockets end up being faster, right? They feel snappier, right? Because things happen right away, instant, right? Because the amount of data that you need to send over the wire is lower, right? Because like and the amount of compute on your server goes down as well, right? Because like I don't need to, so like if each one of these connections is a new connection with no state effectively attached to it, right? Unless you send some level of state with it in a getter in your request, right? So the server has no context for who you are at that point unless you send that information over. So if I'm saying doing a chat system, I have to attach to every GET request. What was the last message I saw? And then I hammer it. Like just go at the server and right, just spam the server with GET requests with that little bit of information. And when they eventually have a new request, they present it to me. So now my server has to take care of, my server and my database have to be cached in certain ways to make sure that that information's not like causing a mass slowness or something like that. So pros and cons, right? It depends on like the type of service that you're doing, but like a calendar that could like effectively refresh itself every 20 minutes is not a big deal. Right? Like how often does the calendar need to be refreshed? Could I build an API that does it? Yeah, why not, right? And his sleep apnea issue. So you're getting so you're getting better, and if he gets his CPAP machine all set up, I'm getting Future Cup before GTA 6. Ah, no. No. um I would not count that chicken. uh right away. I would hold off on that. And yeah, it makes a bit of sense. I'm just in a very unfocused state. Oh, that's fine. The verge of working for a company who makes those machines. Oh wow. How are you doing, gamer? My 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 dad has to use one of those. It's one of the water ones though, because it's snoring so bad. Hey gamer, I'm doing some web dev today. Um, I'm half contemplating actually maybe switching over to Preact right now. While I've been chatting with Garrett TV about like how WebSockets work and stuff like that. We were kind of going over it, um, over things. My stuttering's been really bad today, but I'm debating whether or not I want to use Preact or maybe something else. Um, yeah, well, I'm hoping that my dad's doing a lot more walking and like actual like moving around outside of just cutting meat. So I'm hoping that it brings down his weight. I don't know too much about it, but I do know that having extra weight it can lead to the requirement for using it. Although I do think that he needs one of those sleep apnea masks regardless because he snores so loud. I use the time of your stuttering to catch up on what you said before. Perfect. What are some alternatives to React that are still fast and easy to use? I do not want to run Node on my server. So all files need to be compiled or transpiled into uh, native JavaScript. Transpiled into native JavaScript. And I'm going to be working with Phoenix. Good luck, both of you. I have a lot of studying to do, and first exam is tomorrow. Wish me luck. Good luck. Good luck, and have a good one. Hope to hear good news back. It's highly popular Phoenix. That one is popular, but I don't know if Alpine's worth it. I don't think this is quite what I'm looking for either. Oh, it might be. Oh wait, library for agnostic micro react. How big is Preact? You know what? Fuck it. Let's just do it. Let's just do it. uh Phoenix. Um Compiled. Ship node on my server. Set up Preact in your Phoenix project without requiring Node on your production server. You can leverage ES Build wrapper. Mm. And then it's minor version. This creates a nodes module package. Configure ES Build. Phoenix uses ES Build to build assets to support Preact's JSX. You need to tell ES Build how to handle the the H and fragment functions. Update your config to do. There it is. I don't know if that's actually required anymore. Your suggestion. seems like it could be outdated. And you double check, please. You're right. To be curious about to do, you have more modern ways to handle JSX without hard coding the factory into the config to do. Instead of modifying the args list your configs, the modern easiest way to do this is to use automatic transformations. Okay, time for me to hit the shower. Chat you later another day. Sounds good. Have a good shower. And if I don't see you again today, have a good sleep. As you're using you don't need to manually import H or fragment in every file if you add these 2 lines to the top of your app. There we go. Don't got the service company, feel free to reach out over Discord. Oh, I will. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Can you explain the import and why are we using H? Under here, as well as the config update in more detail. To understand the specific imports and configuration flags are necessary. It helps to look at how Preact works under the hood. And well, JSX looks like HTML. I am aware. I am not an idiot. The H hyperscript function in Preact, every like div is converted into a call to H, for example. Becomes okay. You typically need H in scope, or so the compiler can code can execute these function calls. Fragment. Standard JSX requires a single root element if you want to return multiple top level elements without adding an extra div to your actual DOM. You wrap them in a fragment. This tells Preact to render the child directly into the parent. Render. This is the engine that takes your Preact component virtual DOM and actually injects them into a real HTML element of the page. Okay, that makes sense. The config update, why automatic? Your older configuration would have required you to manually import every single file where you want to use a piece of JSX. The new flags simply do this. This tells ESBuild to use the modern JSX runtime instead of looking for a global H variable. ESBuild will automatically insert the necessary imports for you during the build process. JSX import source Preact. By default, the automatic mode looks for React. This flag tells ESBuild, don't use React, use Preact's built-in runtime. Why this passes, since you want to avoid Node on your server, this setup is ideal. Zero dependency protection. All the magic converts JSX to HCalls happens on your local machine or build server. Native output, the static assets are plain standard JavaScript that our modern browser can run without needing a runtime like Node.js. Would you like to see how to structure a reusable Preact component file now that your configuration is up? Not yet, because I haven't finished yet. Okay, perfect. All right, let's go over general structure and getting a home page up and running. A landing page. Landing page up. And getting a index page up and running. Get your index page running with Preact in your Phoenix project. You'll work across two main areas, the Elixir side, serving the HTML and JavaScript side, mounting the components. In the standard Phoenix, your relevant folders are where your Preact code lives. Contains the logic for your routes. Contains the HEX template. Finds no. Oh, I see what they're doing. I don't know how I feel about that. This setup isn't what I'm looking for. Maybe you should have asked more questions. You're right, I jumped in single page app style without checking how you actually want to use. My plan is to use Phoenix as an API server and a pre-compiled React application as the front end. Must ensure the Phoenix server handles API requests. Yes, I get that. Okay, build and prepare your Preact app. on your local machine, build a server, compile your Preact application. This file looks like HTML, JavaScript, and CSS. Should be moved into your to-do. Configure Phoenix to serve static files. In front. Files. Do, 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 do. Phoenix API adjustments. Since your front end is now on a different domain, oh yeah, I'll need that. Since you aren't using Phoenix to serve the assets, you don't actually need to put the Preact code in priv static. Build run, you can, your local build command do. Could you walk me through getting the Preact side set up, please? To set up the Preact side as a standalone single page app, you will create a focus directory. Using to do. Yes, this is true. I'm actually going to move this here. Be my watch calendar. Make dir my watch calendar. API. Move star to my watch API. It's because I'm using it. One sec. I think this is correct. There it is. Okay, there's this, and then we do open folder, and it's my watch calendar, and then we do this, select, boom, and then if we do terminal, we do mix deps.get just to make sure. Mix deps.compile. Just to make sure. And then the plan is to do the front end. You need an entire HTML. Yeah. Okay, there we go. Okay, so this was just to make sure that this still worked. Now, all we're going to do is get React set up for compiled HTML pages. So, Preact set up for precompiled, pre-rendered HTML vault hydrate method. Fastest route is using automatically pre-renders pages during React build. Alternatively, was like 11D can integrate with Preact for static site generation. Wait, what? No, sorry. It's currently the recommended way to do static site generation with Preact. Okay. Popular frameworks. React CLI automatically pre-renders your pages into static HTML so they load fast. When building for production, Preact CLI renders your components and saves them, saves the results as static HTML. This means visitors to your site immediately see the pre-rendered HTML version even before any JavaScript has loaded. Important when pre-rendered rendering, your module as a component are executed in a Node.js environment where most web APIs are not available. To account for this, wrap that code in multiple URLs. Out of the box, only the home page is pre-rendered. In order to pre-render all routes, you'll want to add pre-rendered URLs.json file to your project. This can also pass additional data as props to the app. Dynamic pre-rendered. In addition to the pre-rendered URLs, it's also possible to export the same information from a JavaScript file. This file will be executed by Preact CLI. This can, and it can export a function that returns the pre-rendered configuration. To use dynamic pre-rendered configuration, you need to specify the JavaScript file name to the Preact CLI. Okay. Using pre-rendered values in your markup. The values provided during pre-rendering via any of the above methods can be used in an template.html file to be used in all generated HTML files. This can be used to provide values for meta tags and other useful data in the makeup of itself. To do, yeah, that's fine. Okay, so I'm sure this is important information, but I would like to do just this. Here we go. What's lit? This doesn't answer the only question I had. What is lit? Solid. We're just gonna stick with Preact. npm create update feet. Okay. Do I just do a create? And where does it ask me the name? I I whatever. I think that's the latest. My watch der front end. I thought I disabled that. Like actually uninstalled it. I need a new 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 window, right? Actually, I guess no, no. I like it, I yeah, no. I think I like the separation. Oops. This is just a demo for a demo of shared element. This browser does not seem to support shared element. Pre-rendered URLs JSON. Okay. This file can also pass additional context. Okay, so here we do this. New file. Not that. Go back to here. Go this, new file. We come over to here. We bring this over. We come into here. We paste that down. Here we go. In addition to the pre-rendered, it is also possible to export the same information from a JavaScript file. This will be executed by Preact. Oh, how do I run this? Right, that's what it was, right? Yeah, run dev. I think it's hilarious that that's still the thing for that. Using pre-rendered values in your makeup. I don't care about the values. To fetch pages from a CMS and generate static pre-rendered URLs for each. We can export a async function from our pre-rendered URLs file. I will be right back. All right, I'm back. Sorry about that. Okay. All right, so let's go to our index here. And start building this out. What do we want our homepage to look like? I guess a calendar. Um, I've got a calendar. Um, I've got a calendar in this one, and I guess I should probably convert it. Web controllers calendar here. Hmm. Hey, perfect. And yes, this is the type of stuff that you want to use AI for. It's like, oh hey, this is pretty standard. I'm giving you everything. Please just make this fucking work, kind of thing. Do. Wait. Go source. This is my app, right? Okay. So, I've got to remember the 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 the, the structure of a React app. Because again, I keep coming back to every time that I come to use this stuff, it's been a while since I've used it. So I'm just like, oh hey, what do I do again? Oh fuck, that's also something I forgot to do. Um uh React Byte Daisy Tailwind. Oh actually wait. Should I check something else? One sec. Let me do this. Alternatives to uh, Tailwind. I'm looking for something easy to use, but still easy to use and very small in size. That CSS collection that makes simple websites look professional instantly. Sakura CSS. Easy customization. Docs, layout, content, grid flow, links, containers, landmarks and sections. Forms, components. They have modals. Smallest size. Would like to have access to. Oh yeah, I forgot about Balma. CSS. Dark mode. I think, oops. This might not be right because like, look how big it is. Your CSS. Okay, one sec. I would like to have access to Flex and Grid. Built-in Flex and Grid, CSS Grid, Flexbox and Grid. Two excellent options that bring no code codeless frameworks. It's not what I don't care about that. Maybe I'll just stick with Daisy. Yeah, I think I'm just going to stick with Daisy. It's just convenient. Components. I know it's a bit bigger and it will slow down the site, but I don't think I care right now. We effectively get a nice enough look. Beat config. And Windows is annoying me with with some of the like tabbing. The tabbing's weird. It's like instead of just tabbing between windows, I'm tabbing between tabs. Add this to here. And then into the plugins, we drop this. And then in your source style, I'm guessing that's the index. Or is it app? This style.css, so I guess it would be this one. Now we see if it pulls down. Perfect. Now this I believe this is we're gonna start editing the app, I think. Yeah, here. So we don't care about count right now. I don't care about like any of this. We're gonna come over to one of these because one of these has the actual thing in it, right? Yeah, it's right here. We're gonna bring this over. Effectively, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take all of this down to here, I believe. Yeah, and then we'll figure it out later. And this is either gonna work or it's not. Mm, there's definitely a missing step. Fight can fit, fight. Find config. Okay. And then it's just a matter of adding this. Hey, I work at 5 a.m., so I'm going to get to sleep through the lawn mowing. Oh, fun. I'm almost jealous. Said no one ever. Also, hey Fox, welcome. Welcome back. I don't trust myself to sleep later. I expect explosions. I'm working working on no need to be jealous. Retail is a B. Yeah. I'm working on a web app right now. So no explosions today. I'm sorry. Wow, this looks not at all like what I wanted. Is it even loading? No, it's not. What? It's like actually not loading the thing. Sorry. That format? Please tell me it formatted. It looks like it did. I wanted to make an app, basically a way to filter AI content out of YouTube. Yeah, but like I don't think that you can get enough information out of YouTube to filter out AI content out of YouTube. Because like YouTube can't even filter out AI content out of YouTube. On the plus side is they actually are making an effort to try. Because the AI slop is getting bad. So like YouTube is on low quality mass produced AI content, often termed AI slop. Yeah. Well, effectively, the monetization on them is really bad, and that's why they're doing it. Yeah. Well, so you got to keep in mind that like think about how many people are doing this, right? AI slop is a very real thing. So, okay, so you've got the give me a second here. I'm going to be able to put these words together. So, you've got the AI slop which is ruining YouTube. People are annoyed, like actually annoyed and leaving the platform because of it. So that affects their bottom line, which is perfect because if you want YouTube to care, it has to affect their bottom line because they're a business, they're a corporation at the end of the day. They have to answer to shareholders, and if it's not affecting the bottom line, they don't care effectively. So, oh God. Oh. But eh, 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 eh. But oh, sorry. So if you think about the sheer amount of people uploading to YouTube every minute, how much video does YouTube ingest every so they do 500 hours of video every minute, right? Um or 30,000 hours of new content at every hour, right? So how can they reasonably um crack down on AI content outside of demo sorry, outside of various like they've got to tweak things that auto detect, right? For like things like heavy AI use and stuff like that. And then with there being so many people uploading, uh say a 0.5%, you know, um uh uh false positive could be like is going to be millions of people, right? So but yeah, like oh god. Whoa. Okay. Okay. I oh oh god. Okay. I am I am quite quite literally at my absolute limit right now. Um, uh, 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 I'm mm, mm, I'm oh okay yeah I'm I'm I am I'm going to call it here today, and I am probably going to go lay down. I am absolutely not feeling well right now. I will catch you. catch you all to tomorrow. Oh, oh, okay. I, this is bad.